All right, hey people, how everybody doing today? Today, actually, welcome to Busting the Bank because we are on the bank, and this is my first official video that I'm doing recording as I fish because I never really record as I fish. I used to just fish. So today, conditions are, you can see in the camera, it's real bright, sunny. It's a nice sunny day, and I don't know if we're gonna catch up, hook up with any fish, but today, first thing I'm gonna start off with here in this area is a spinnerbait. So I start off with a spinnerbait in this area, all because I've been catching fish off the spinnerbait in this area, and this is the seventh, eighth. It's a bigger size bigger spinnerbait, and I got it paired up on 17-pound fluorocarbon. That's what I have. That's what I have paired up with. So y'all guys actually get to see me fish today for the first time. And you might see some mistakes as well. So this area, this area, I'm usually this is the area I'll be talking about a lot. A lot of times these fish move up in this particular area. I got a boat. They move up in this area for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they kind of like move in this area a lot, in and out of this area a lot. So uh, I don't know if we gonna get lucky today and hook up with a fish, but I'm here and we gonna try our best to get a catch. So I know y'all probably don't want to look at the behind me, but I try to stay in the camera, inside of the camera. But like I said, this is my first official video filming as I fish. I really never do this, so I'm new to it. So again, I'd like to welcome you guys to Busting the Bank Fishing with Terrence Leonard. And I know this is not really a spot that you'll really cast a spinnerbait. I usually fish a spinnerbait a little shallow, but right now I'm just really looking for fish. So I use it for a search bait also. So, a lot of times it does locate fish um, as I fish. Sometimes I run into a roaming fish or a fish out there, just cruising. Uh, like I was saying, I know, a lot of guys really fish the spinnerbait a little different. I understand. Everybody has their ways of fishing the spinnerbait. But I use it for more of a research bait, especially when I don't know if I'm going to get any kind of activity. And that's why I say I fish a little farther from the bank. Now, as I was saying before, I don't have the necessary cover because everything that I want to fish is off to the right of me, and everything else is like right up to the left, and I'm really too close to the bank to be fishing those general areas. Thought that was a bite, y'all, but it wasn't. Really, to that, to those general areas, that was the spinnerbait falling in the bottom, and I got a strike, y'all, and that's how I do it. A lot of times, I just hanging out. I have a fish and my GoPro on. Well, I have it attached to me. I'm not filming with my GoPro just yet. So I wanted to do this video first, make sure this get out there first, then I will record on my and as you know, backlashes always tend to happen at some time. So, and I think I really need to change this line. I haven't really used this in a long time, so I might have to use this line. Change this line. But like I was saying, I'm gonna record the video. I do have my GoPro on, but I don't have it on while I'm fishing now. When I finish the video, and then I might, then I'll turn on my GoPro and record. But I wanted to get this video out first. Actually, just to really get y'all guys on the water with me and be all some, on the water videos and on the water depth. Really seeing me out here, really trying to catch fish right. So I'm not going to sit up here and tell you guys that I'm gonna catch a fish because I don't know if I'm gonna catch one or not. But instead of me catching a fish and then going on YouTube, posting the fish and whatnot, or Facebook, whatnot, y'all guys get the first hints and look if I hook up with a fish. And then y'all guys will know what I want saying when I say I be catching big fish, I be catching big fish, man. And I wish I would have been doing this earlier, but like I said, mine wasn't really set on that. But I'm back, full effect, back busting the bank. I got my bank bag with me. I got my bag with me with all my stuff in it. I set it up last night. It took me to like 3 in the morning to set everything up for you guys today. So I did it for myself, but I also did it for you guys to bring you guys along with me as I fish. If I catch one, that's a bonus. If not, I still enjoy it. Now, I got 3 other setups with me. Yeah, I think either I got to grease it, or I have to change the line. I mean, I haven't used this setup in probably about a year or 2. It just got lost amongst the other rods and reels and things, But I'm gonna get it back right. So I see the problem. Got a knot in the line some kind of way. always something. So, like I said, this is the area I fish, and I do a lot of moving around, but But today, I'm not going to do so much moving. I'm really going to be probably just focused on this spot. So what I'm really doing is going to be fish from right here. So if I catch one, I catch one. I don't. It was just the experience, and I really just wanted to make this video, give you guys a look, and just in case I do catch a fish, you know, y'all get first look. And I hope I catch up with a giant. But I have been catching some giant bass, and lately, like my three biggest bass has came out of this lake, and this is my home lake. And like I said, I'm learning it because I really don't fish this lake a lot. I really had never really fished this lake this much, but now since I'm back home, and this lake is literally right behind my house, why not? You know, water. You know, you got fishing. It's fairly muddy, real muddy, but you got fishing, and that's what's making it hard. You know, that's what made it hard. Made it harder for me. Also, you know, being a banker, so muddy water, got, you know, blue skies, no cloud cover. So it's a little cool this morning, so I really didn't come. I wanted that water to warm up a little bit, so that's why I chose to come a little later in the afternoon. I don't know if that would affect the fish or not because it'd be so hot and the weather does fluctuate. So. And we had a little rain that came overnight last night that really, you know, got this water muddied it back up because it was a little clearer than it was the other day I was back there. Not super clear, you know. So this lake is never going to be a spot clear lake. It's going to be stained water year round. And then now that it's muddy, it just makes it harder, right? But I love fishing in a muddy water lake. I love fishing the area that I fish. The conditions of the water, I love it. You know, it just enhances my skills. It kind of tests my knowledge and gives me another outlook on how to go about a fishing in muddy water situation. That is it. And the spinnerbait I'm using is a Strike King, KVD Strike King. I think it's called a Bleeding Shad. It's a 7/8 spinnerbait. So I think it's a little bigger spinnerbait. The spinnerbait I usually use, this guy right here. It's right there. I got that shad profile trailer on it. Turn it around the right way. Shad profile trailer on it, and it's a willow with I think that's an Indiana blade or a Colorado blade. I think it's an Indiana blade. Tail blade right there. And willow leaf. I love the willow leaf spinnerbaits. These are my favorite. I do use the Colorado blades, which I should be using now, but due to the water and it's black and blue, and I know the Colorado blade throws off a lot more vibration and stuff like that. This here throws off some vibration and it gives some flash, and I don't know if the fish are still running shad or not, but I always go with something that's bait fish profile. In other words, instead of just trying to mimic shad, because I don't really know when the shad spawn is, so that's something I'm learning too. I'm researching on when shad spawn and all that stuff, you know, all the important things. But as long as I try to stay within the bait fish profile or the size of the bait fish or anything that looks like a bait fish, I think I should have a shot at the fish, man. So this is all I do. You know, I make my fishing simple. I don't make nothing for me to fish complicated. I make it as easy as possible. Sometimes I catch fish, sometimes I don't. But And it's all a learning curve for me. It's a learning process, and I'm also enjoying and doing what I love to do, which is fish, man. So it's not all about the catches for me. So and father's my rod is it's a 6'6", medium heavy, moderate fast, moderate fast rod, and I got it paired up out there in that grass. So we got an algae bloom I see. It's a 6'6". Get in the camera. The rod I have is a 6'6" moderate. Hold on, a 6'6" medium heavy, moderate fast rod. It's an H2O brand angler. Okay, no high end stuff, but a good rod. I love it. I got plenty of them, so I like their rods. Okay, so none of my stuff is really high end stuff. Budget kind of. This is a 8-1-in-1 gear ratio real. Really don't know. Got this guy off Timo. Can't even talk. Off Timo for free. So hey, it was free. I took it. But it's a 8-1-in-1 gear ratio. I don't know. Could be a piece of junk. Who knows? It was free. And I think that's why I wasn't using it, because I got it for free and I don't even know what brand, real company, manufacturer even made this reel. But hey, it was free. And this is a piece of junk. It's a piece of junk. It doesn't matter. You know? And I think that's why I wasn't using it. And I usually just chunk and wind my spinner bait. Then all of a sudden I change up, my cadence. I'll give it a couple rod pumps to make that skirt fly out a little bit. And now I'm a little different than most bank fishermen, right? Uh, I'm a little different than most bank fishermen. I just don't cast maybe 10 to 12 casts, pick up everything and relocate. I don't really do that. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times I don't. You know why? I learned that sometimes that's a mistake, and I learn from my mistakes. It seems like the more time I put in the area as far as bank fishing, I give myself a better chance of hooking up with fish. Because sometimes if I'm in this area, a lot of the times these fish probably haven't even moved up on this flat, on this bank, or a lot of the times they'll be stuck down in the lily pads in the pads where I can't get to them. But a lot of the times I notice that these fish also come up and feed in this area where I'm at, on this South Bend area. This is the area I be saying that I be catching a lot of my bigger fish from. And I have no idea why I catch a lot of big fish over here. So only thing I can put together is that it's not on the spawn. Yeah, they come up and feed, but come up in bed. At the same time, I think it's something that the bass have come to as far as to feed. So that's why I always come on this south side, this South Bend side of the lake, and do my fishing. So, far as a bank angler, I put in a lot of time here than I do anywhere else on the lake. I have learned not to move around as much because I fish real fast and probably fish too fast, and before I know it, I come back here and I have a good day. So I usually start here, and a lot of times I end here too. So that's just a quick update, a tip that I do at times. I don't just cast 10 or 12 casts and move on. I stay and I have other rods that I'm finna pick up another rod as I'm speaking, and we gonna fish that too. Okay, so let's get back to fishing. Enough talking, guys. And not only that, I'm fishing like with like maybe 6 to 7 mile per hour winds too. So it ain't real gusty, but it is windy. So and another thing I like to do too on this boat is like get the duck. Y'all see the duck? uh, is I like to finesse fish. Meaning I like to fish real slow. But this setup is not a finesse setup. This is like a more heavier setup. Got it. Grab my drink. Make sure my camera don't fall. And it's like all my fish. Sorry about that, fella. People. It's like all my fish really come from from like from out the deeper water. So I'm fishing a little farther off the bank than I will be as then like most bank anglers. I ain't bragging nobody because I do it, but trying to fish shallow on this lake is really tough, right? That's what I noticed. Uh, the only way I can really fish this lake shallow or in shallow vegetation or whatever is like to get to the shallow cover. I have to be in a jumbo or a kayak, right? So being a bank angler, everything I see to my right, I mean, it's fishy, but I can't get over there, right? To my left, excuse me, it's the same way, but I'm too close to the bank, and so if fish do pull up, I'm gonna spook them, I'm gonna run them away. So the only other thing I can do is really fish out in front of me, farther off the bank in deeper water, or however deep that water is out there. Okay? So I'm just gonna assume 10 feet. Okay, I'm just gonna assume 10 feet. If that, it might not even be 10 feet. Okay, I'm just assuming that. So, but I have noticed every time that every fish I have caught has been from the bank. I mean, from the bank, but off farther from the bank in like slightly deeper water. So I'm thinking it's a drop off out here. So Uh, that's what I have come up to. So I don't know if it's a drop off. I have been told that it's a drop off, and you know, to to the point where I'm starting to believe that it is a drop off. It could be a drop off that I'm fishing because fish always pull up over here on this side in this bend to do one or two things: moving out of that deeper water up shallow to spawn or to feed. So I'm always like, I call this like the highway. They in and out. They come in and they move up and they move out. They move in and they move out. So if I get here, if I can get here in the time when they moving up, I get here in the time when they moving up, I better my chance. And if I come down here at a time, I don't know when that'll be, at a time when they moving out, it takes me a little longer to catch a fish, but I will catch one. And this here is it's a 7-foot one, 7-foot ugly stick paired up with what is the name of this? A cattail spinning rod. And I have a Shimano that I usually use on this, but I took the Shimano off and put this guy on here. This is I want to say, I haven't used this. I lost the pack, but I want to say this was the Missile Baits bomb. I think this is a missile made by Missile Bait. It's a D bomb, I believe. I have lost the pack, and I so happen to see these baits in my soft plastic box, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna throw one on. I think it's made by Missile Bait, and I think it was a D bomb. It is, excuse me, guys. This is a 3/8 ounce tungsten bullet sinker, and I have a peg on it too, because sometimes I do peg it, but I peg it for certain reasons. Uh, and I have it on a size three, a size 3 EGW hook. So I like the EGWs, that wild gap hook, extra wild gap hook. I love it. I love them. Um, and that's and it's color wise is like black, black and blue. You see that black, got that black on the top, then the blue on the bottom. Whoa, hold on. The blue on the bottom. It got a lot of flake in it too. So that flake will help me out of this business, this dingy water. Hopefully. So that's it. How you doing? Yes, sir. Like I say, I fished this area, this lake, and this spot a lot, and a lot of people have come to know me for fishing here. But I only do a lot of bass fishing. But it's a nice, there's some nice bluegills coming out of this lake. It's some nice, if you're a catfish man, a catfish eater, or somebody that loves to catch cats, man, there's some giant cats in here. Um, I no lie, some giant cats in here. During that cold front we had back in like at the beginning of the year, back in January, February, I really wasn't doing a lot of bass fishing then. I was, because December I caught my PB back here in the same spot. But and that was December. But January I was catfishing. I was bait fishing, right? I caught a lot of bluegills in the cold, right? So I caught a lot of bluegills, and I was hooking up with some nice size blue cats, which is not common in the lakes around this part of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, I'm gonna give you a backdraft about this lake. This lake was actually a natural pond And then they did reconstructions. They built the park. They built the middle school. They built the nature walk, a bike trail, and eventually they got around to digging out the natural pond and making it a bigger body of water. So a lot of the time, a lot of this, the lake itself is not really was never. It was a natural, you know, uh, natural substance of water. It was naturally a pond, and so they redid the reconstruction. They dug it out, made it into a fairly a nice sized lake. In other words, and some some of it is shallow, some of it is deep. So uh, I fished it long enough to know that some areas of the lake is a little deeper than other areas, and some areas of the lake, the bottom is a lot softer than certain areas of the lake. So I have put time on this water, put time in on this lake from the bank, and really have kind of learned a little bit about it, uh, and that it's helped me actually learn how to fish this lake a little bit more. And like I say, my fish catches hasn't been really on point due to the clarity of the water. That's why I'm using primarily like dark baits like black and blues, and well, my spinner bait is bleeding shad. So you know that's white, shad. Uh, and I got a black trick worm, and I have a June bug Senko set up too that I have on the fish as well. So that's the reason why I'm using a lot of dark colors, because of the water I'm fishing. It's real dirty. It's real muddy. So hopefully all the talking I'm doing, hopefully I can catch a fish. And I'm gonna tell you something about this bait. This bait right here is good for flipping and pitching. That's why I have it set up the way I have it set up. I have it set up with a peg just in case I'll move to an area later on in the day probably, and I might do some flipping with this setup. I'm not going to flip no real big heavy vegetation with it because it's not really set up for that. This is nothing but 12-pound fluorocarbon or either mono, whatever. It came pre-spooled, so I don't know what's on it, but I know it's 12-pound line. I don't know if it's fluorocarbon or mono, probably more likely mono. But I will flip this in like dense to moderate vegetation if I get to that area. I think we had a suspect. I think we had a suspect. I think we had a suspect. What I noticed about these fish, you ever caught bluegill? Okay, I know some bluegill fish. These fish bite like bluegill. Now you'll think it's a small fish until you set that hook. When you set that hook and that rod bent over, you be like, what? Yeah, that's how they do. They're real soft biting fish. They're real picky. They're real finicky, right? Uh, there's times when they really just slam it, man. You really know there's something on there, right? But majority of the time, I notice that they bite like bluegill. They got a real soft bite, real subtle bite. It's not really like they really smashing it like most bass do. They real finicky. Oh, I didn't see that. Got a wind knot. That's another thing about fishing in the wind. When you have a little wind, fishing in, when you have a little wind, it usually I can't. I'm not even in the camera, y'all. That's the thing when you fishing in a little wind. A lot of the times it causes a little wind knots. It ain't nothing, nothing real bad, nothing major. Not to have you effing and being and sob and S and B's and you know what I'm saying, throwing a hissy fit on the lake. You know what I'm saying? It's not that personal, man. It's for fun, right? That's what we do it for. Cause why? We love it. By the way, this is an Arizona energy drink, which doesn't do nothing. It's just good. Fruit punch. And another thing, like most YouTubers be like and subscribe. Please, if you like it, subscribe to the video, and I will do my best, my absolute best, to do more videos like this, trying to be a better content creator. That is me. That is my goal. That's what I want to do. So I'm giving it my all, pouring it my all. Okay, that is it. And another thing, I'm not too proud to ask for help. You know, if you guys, anybody out there, it's a lot of guys out there doing YouTube videos. Hey, if you can help me out, how to learn how to build better content, it's okay. I ask for help sometimes. It's okay. Everybody does. But I want to build my own content. In other words, just like other fishermen do. So if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe to Busting the Bank Bass Fishing with Terrence Leonard, and I will make sure that I get you people more videos like this. Might add some fish catches. Oh yeah. And another thing I wanted to mention, I do smoke cigarettes. Okay, I'm trying to stop. For real, trying to stop. So y'all pray for me out there, cause I do pray for myself, and I ask God every time to take that taste from me. But hey, until then, I'm gonna stop. But y'all continue to pray for me, man, and I'll let these things go. Okay? I spend too much money on these things, man. You know what I'm saying? I got one habit already. And you know what my biggest habit is? Fishing. But I love it. And another thing, guys, do your best to try to keep your shot off the water. You know, that was a lesson learned for me. It took me some time to really learn that lesson, to really keep my shot off the water as much as possible. I don't know if the fish can really see my shadow, but just in case a fish do move shallow, but this water is so muddy, I don't really think the fish can really visibly see me. But I know me walking around, talking and stuff, they feel vibration. So I can take a step or be stomping around on the bank and the fish is just right on out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a quick tip that I had to learn myself. And like I said, I don't mind sharing tips on my own from my own personal experience of fishing. And excuse me. And I like doing it like this because it gives me more experience, right? And that's experience for me, experience for you guys. Uh, gives me more of an idea. I can think about making better content. Think about being a better content creator, and with y'all guys watching, me doing these videos, it's all from the heart. You know, I'm not looking for nothing like that. I just do it because I love it. Um, but at the same time, it just gives me the experience that I've been longing for and itching for and going for. So now I'm 100% into bass fishing. I'm 100% making better content, getting videos out to you guys. I'm 100% about sharing whatever I know. I don't know everything. I'm not a pro. I'm a simple everyday guy. I work a 9 to 5. I fish. That is it. You know, I got taught from my uncle from a young age, and I've been doing it ever since. It's just now I just take it a little bit more serious than I used to, and I love it, man. I love it. I'm addicted to bass, for real. I'm addicted to bass fishing on any level. And the level I'm on, I love it. I love bank fishing, man. There's nothing wrong but fishing from the bank. I know I might not catch a fish today, but that ain't gonna destroy me or keep me from making videos or nothing like that. I'm gonna keep a video. I'm always gonna be making some videos, and it might be a video coming up soon that I might catch a fish. Who knows? I probably catch one today. Only thing I can do is try. And I do have my GoPro on at the same time, so I'm I'm, I'm recording at the same time as I'm fishing. I'm trying to get closer to the bank so y'all guys can see it. I really don't like walking up to the bank because I don't want to see fish that might move up when I move in. And I don't know if you guys can hear me because I can't hook my microphone up to my phone. But I want to, I just wanted to stand back a little bit far off from the camera so you guys can see me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And I don't have a mic, in other words, hooked up to me. Get this on the drink. I mean, you gotta love it, man. Beautiful day, beautiful blue skies. A beautiful day, beautiful blue skies. Getting that springtime. And like my springtime might be a little different than most guys because everybody fishes basically almost the same things in the spring. You might see something that's a little different in the spring when it comes to bass fishing because I guess it's the strategy of the whole thing, the spring thing, and some fish are draw accustomed to that uh, those type of techniques. I guess I don't know, but I usually fish a little different in the spring, and sometimes that little indifference of certain baits that's in the spring allows me to catch fish because it's something that they probably haven't seen around this time of the year. And for this lake goes, these fish really don't really get a lot of pressure. As far as fishing pressure goes, you get a lot of pressure like from the air pressure, barometric pressure and stuff like that. But fishing pressure, not as much. So these fish really don't see a lot of things that most bass fishermen fish with. That's why I was having a lot of success with the spinner bait. Some fish probably had never seen a spinner bait before until I started using one back here. So was a nice blow up over there in that corner, guys. So I'm gonna try to get over there and see can I get this fish to bite. Yeah, it was a big blow up over here to my right, over here to the right of me. A nice blow up. So I cast over there a little, probably, I don't know, maybe 10 feet ahead of the blow up spot. I'm gonna work the bait back up towards where I seen that blow up at. Hopefully that fish still be out. As far as a creature bait goes, you know, a lot of people do a lot of flipping and pinching and pitching and punching with creature baits. Creature baits are like one of my main things and one of my main confident baits that I have in my arsenal of fishing. And I use a lot of creature baits around this time of the year, all the way up to the summertime. And it's usually like I catch a lot of fish off those creature style baits. And it's a lot of the ones that look like bugs, like water bugs or something. So I don't know. They probably think it's a baby bluegill or some type of creature in the water, a crawl, anything like that. But I use a lot of those type body style, profile style baits around this time of the year, all the way up until it get hot in the summer. Me, I basically fish it just like I fish a worm, man. I barely move the bait. I pull it up a little bit, let it gently fall back down to the bottom. I reel up my slack and I let it sit there for a while, and I'll move it again. The same way I do a worm is the same way I use to fish my creature bait. And it was the way I was taught, you know. So um, I never changed it. I always kept it the same. And at times, a lot of the times, is that I have caught fish. The only thing I really regret right now that I'm doing this video is that I should have been recording the times I was catching those nice. I think there was more post-spawn or pre-spawn or even spawn fish at that time of the year. It was like early in January where I was catching those nice big females, man. I think it was probably early spawning fish or post-spawning fish of some sort. I'm really not too familiar with that either, but uh, I'm just guessing it was probably post spawn fish I was catching, and there was some nice ones, man. I caught my PB right here in the same spot, an 8 pounder, man, right here on the lipless, a Courtney Cardell spot. I caught it right here, man. That was in December. December, it was 5 days before Christmas, December 20th of 2024, man. It was a nice, cool, cold Florida morning. Water was right, I guess. And man, that fish absolutely ate that lipless up. And that was around the shad spawn too. So that now that was some fun. didn't get the I really didn't get the chance to hook up with that fish that blew up. Um, what I learned from my own experience is like when I see a blow up, a lot of the times when I cast, I see like 10 to maybe 5 to 10 feet away from the blow up while I seen and bring my bait back to the spot while I seen that blow up. Sometimes that fish will still be in the area, and a lot of times he'll eat that bait up. But that time it wasn't. I guess it wasn't. There or probably didn't really want it, whatever the case may be. But I usually do it with a Senko. I didn't this time. It was on a creature bait, weighted. I usually do it with a weighted Senko. Sometimes with a weighted Senko, I throw right in that blow up spot and let that Senko do his thing, and wham, that fish is slamming, man. So that's something I learned on my own, and I was catching nice fish. Well, I was catching fish. It allows me to catch fish, and it just gave me an idea. I learned something from it. Gave me a pointer. And when I see a blow up like that, I'm usually gonna throw something quiet over there in that same blow up spot and let that bait just fall naturally. And if that fish still there, he's gonna eat it. That's the thing. That's the thing about fishing with a center rod. With a little wind, you will get a couple wind knots. And I'm used to it. It's nothing. And the wind is not that heavy. It's like maybe 4, 3 miles out. It's not a gusty wind. If I don't get any fish catches, it's all right. You know, uh, before I got down here, I already made my mind up. Like, man, I'm gonna sit in this spot right here all day and fish, record, fish. If I catch some fish, if I catch a fish, great. If I don't, good. At the same time, it's just me getting and getting in the hang of fishing and recording at the same time and making content at the same time, and that's what it's all about. Okay, that is it. So if I catch a fish, that's a bonus. just seen another blow up right in front of me. But I don't have the I didn't bring my I have a rod that I had designed for just throwing weightless Senko, man. I didn't bring that rod today. Um, but I have another rod that can do the same thing as the Senko do, is a float worm, weightless trick worm, right? A weightless zoom trick worm. And it catches fish too. I usually use it at night when it's real hot or the fish are real finicky. Sometimes that right there can save my day. And look, guys, I'm bringing this strictly from the bank now. Don't know electronics, none of that. Can't tell you how hot the water is, how cold the water is, how deep the water is, what contour is down there, whether it's a hump or a ledge or anything like that. I can't tell you that. Only thing I can do is try to map out this lake the best way I can in my mind and in my brain, and just think that fish removal or it's fish in the area or whatever the case may be. Okay, so I'm a diehard bank angler, and a lot of people be thinking, oh man, this that bank fishing is the way to be a skilled fisherman. Trust and believe that. So gonna put him down, right? So didn't get any bites off this just yet, right? So I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, I'm not moving out of this spot. I'm not moving out this spot. I'm not trying to move nowhere. I'm gonna fish this whole area right here that's behind me. I'm gonna fish it until I'm done. So if I catch a fish, it's good. If not, it's good. But you know what? The greater thing is, I'm making this video for you guys, trying to become a better content creator and get more ideas on how to create good content. That is it. So y'all guys stick with me. We finna do some more fishing. Look at that. 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 Fouled up. Look at that foul up. That foul up shouldn't be like that, right? That foul up. Let me tell you, when you come in and your tail of your bait is like that stuck to your spinner bait, two one or two things, it's probably too long. And this is a 3.5-inch swim bait. This is a swimmer from H2O. Actually, I cut some of it off, so it's not as long. So it still might be a little too long for what I think, because at times when I reel it back in, my tail be like that, and I don't like that. I really don't like that. some reason, this 7/8 spinnerbait feels a little lighter than the 3/8 ounce spinnerbait. So I'm really not keen on really sizes of spinnerbaits. That's something else I'm learning too. But for some reason, it does feel a little lighter than the 3/8. So I'm guessing maybe it is lighter. But maybe it could be what I have it set up on, because when I had it on my medium, this same spinnerbait felt a little too heavy on that setup I had it on. I was had it on a straight medium on like 12 pound mono, or was it fluorocarbon? I think it was mono. Anyway, that spinnerbait felt heavy on that combo, my other spinnerbait combo. Now the 3/8 ounce finesse spinnerbait that I have on my other spinnerbait combo feels actually great. This spinnerbait feels great on this setup. So I think I just learned something today. See what I mean? You learn something new every day, especially about fishing, when you just do it on your own. Oh, sorry. I know I'm talking more than I fish, but another thing I like about this spinnerbait is like my other finesse spinnerbait I have from Strike King is the head design on it. It's like the head is more like an arrowhead type. It's more sharp, like, so it keeps that spinnerbait going straight. It doesn't lean over like some spinnerbait heads are not as pointy and sharp in the front as the Strike King spinnerbaits. And not saying that it tilts, but with the Strike King, I noticed that it runs straight every time. No matter if I fluctuate with my reel, with my retrieve speed, or even pump my rod till it wasn't, the spinnerbait won't actually tilt over. It'll stay straight, and that's what you want. Another thing is like me with spinner baits. I like a certain length and rod, and a certain rod power, and a certain rod action. So I'm very picky and very very picky when it comes to like my spinnerbait rods. Very picky when it comes to my crankbait rods, and I'm very picky when it comes to like my jig and chatterbait rods. Now those rods probably a little bit more higher end than any other other rods I have, just cause of that. Um, Not real high end, not real high end. Probably like 130 or something. Um, Still budget friendly. Um, None of the rods I have with me today are in that 130 budget at all. uh, this rod was actually just $50, and the reel was free. So hey, can't beat it. Think we had a, think we might gotta continue. Pick it up. Oh, that's probably for grass. So back getting old. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, without this video or without me recording this video, I still would have been in the same spot, still blind casting, not knowing if I'm gonna catch a fish. But you know what? I love doing it. And it's times, I think I was getting the bite. And it's times when I do, I stay for a while. And it's times when those fish start moving up. Grass, y'all. I be thinking, and this, like I said, this is a 6'6", some moderate fast action. Uh, I kind of like the moderate fast actions with my spinner baits, also with my crankbaits, and also with my chatter baits, and it kind of like my bladed jig lures. I like that moderate fast action better than I just like straight fast action. It's a lot of grass I'm starting to see, so I'm trying to feel, not see some kind of weeds or scrubs or something down on the bottom that I keep running my spinnerbait through. A lot of times that's good too, because those fish will get down there. Fish will get down there and probably stick their nose down there and gird on the bottom, you know, crawls and little bait fish or whatever. Probably more like crawls. I don't know, because to be honest, this is the only lake that I have fished in my area that these fish, then none of them had lipstick on, if you get what I'm saying. Meaning that they didn't have that red or orange looking color in their mouth or around their lips like they was virgin on crawdads. So all the fish I have caught at this lake hasn't had any painted lips at all. So they, my thing is they probably feed more on bluegill, shad, shiners, more on bait fish than anything else in this lake. So that was a learning curve for me too. Something I learned, because I didn't see coloration in the fish's lips at all, like they was really chewing on crawdads or something like that. So that's why I didn't really use a lot of crawl patterns or crawl imitating lures. But not saying that they won't eat it. They probably will, but it's just I know they will. But it's just that it wasn't no identification that like around that time of the year they was really feeding on crawls. They was more chasing the shad because the shad was spawning then. So now I don't know when the next shad spawn gonna come around. That's something I'm learning, but I know this is the time of the year when a lot of bluegills start to bed and a lot of bluegill juveniles and you know more bluegillish, more bluegills gonna be more the thing for the bass to eat and like shiners and stuff like that, other type of bait fish too at the same time. So it's just something I had learned along the way. And let's get back to fishing. Ah, ah, I just missed one, y'all. Dang it. I just missed one. Missed one and backlash at the same time. Ain't that something? I was trying to get it back at us because I didn't set the hook hard enough for him to really feel the hook point, but I just missed one. Like I said, these fish really like real funny. So and another thing I wanted to say, bass are not the only thing in this lake. So a lot of the times, if I miss a fish, a lot of the times it probably won't even be a bass. It could be a mudfish. It can be a bowfin. I mean, mudfish or bowfin, right? Or it could be a gar, right? They also have what they call chain pickles in this lake too, and that's how I know that this lake growing up, this actually wasn't the lake, but this pond growing up didn't have that species of fish in it at all. It just when they dug it out, they stocked it up with the chain pickle and another, I think, striped bass, and I think it's some blue cats. I was told that striped bass was in here. I ain't caught a striped bass yet, so I don't think it's in stripers in here. But I have caught blues. So a lot of the times, if I miss a fish, a lot of the times it probably wasn't even a bass. It could be, like I say, a bowfin or a garfish of some sort. You know, a trash fish, what I call them. But at times when you're not catching nothing, catching one of those can be an absolute blast. Oh, ah, see what I was just talking about. Ah, I was just talking about it. I was just talking about it. Listen, talking to you guys, which I don't care. That was real fun. I didn't land him, but that fish struck in, and he biting it again now. And I think it's more that he's nipping at the blades. He's not really getting the bait in his mouth. I don't missed him twice, so I think he's just snapping at the blades. And that's common with a spinnerbait. They usually hit the blades before they even hit the trailer. But I don't know why it's like that. Whatever kind of fish is that, I'm thinking it's a garfish. It's snapping at the blades. It's not even golfing the spinnerbait, so it's just attacking the blades. So a lot of times those be guards. We have a lot of those in here. They got some huge guards in here too. I won't mind hooking them up one of them just to show you guys, you know. But we're not out here to catch trash fish, are we? Out here to catch bass. Another thing I noticed too about the Strike King spinnerbaits is that some of them come with a rattle trimmer on the back of it. That doesn't have it. So I was gonna use my Colorado blade, but I didn't bring it. So it's all good. So just gonna sit back, relax, and continue to fish. How you doing? Yes, sir. Now, I know a lot of other fishing gonna be like, why do bank anglers always throw out farther from the bank? Sometimes being a bank fisherman, a lot of the times you have to go cast a little farther out from the bank to catch a fish at times, okay? And this, where I'm at in this certain area, I really don't have a choice but to really fish farther from the bank instead of fishing the closer water to me, which is the shallow water, right? That's the thing about being a bank fisherman, right? Fish the closest shallow water that's available to you, right? Okay, I can't do that, so I'm more for not forced, more able to fish the open water where I can still catch fish. It might take me a little longer, and it might take me a lot longer to find a fish. In other words, okay. So it's not like I'm one of those bank fishermen that cast right in front of me when I get to the lake. I don't do that. This area, only reason I do that because that is the only way I can really get access to water, and it's not very deep while I'm casting. It's like I ain't like I'm casting in 20 feet of water. I don't know. It's probably like 8, 10 feet out there. So it's still, to me, that's still fairly shallow water. It's more comfortable for a bass to be within that 8 to 10 feet range of water. So even though I don't really have, I can't reach the shallow water that's usually targeted by bank fishermen At the time, at times, okay, that's okay because those fish do also move in and out of that vegetation. So if I can catch them while they're moving out of that vegetation and heading back to the deep water, that's great. Or I can catch them heading out of the deep water, traveling back up into the shallow water to get to that vegetation. That's also a plus. So that's why I really fish farther farther out there in the deeper water. Well, per se, I don't know, probably like 8 to 10 feet. So that's why I fish. That's why. That's the reason why I fish like that. This old guy, he's bending down on his old joint. And I know for me to get a giant bass, now I'm gonna have to fish. Get out of the camera a little bit. For me to get a giant bass now, I probably have to fish vegetation like pads. No lie, because I know those are where those fish are gonna be. Especially the big bass gonna be more in cover. They're gonna be protected from sunlight, from predators, from anything else. It's gonna be comfortable for them. They're gonna be in pads because they're gonna food source, and it's the spawn time. But throughout the year, big bass usually stay tucked in heavy vegetation somewhere they're not easily caught or hunted or eaten by something that's bigger than them. So that's another reason why when you flipping, pitching, and punching, you catch a lot of giant fish because those guys know them giant fish gonna be tucked and laying down in that heavy vegetation. But at the same time, you still can catch roaming bass, is what I call bass that actually roam throughout the day cruising for whatever reason, and those fish might not be the biggest fish, but sometimes you can get a big fish out of that mix too, cruising, looking for something to eat, and it can be a fun day like that. But just the hints up, if you really want to be a big fish catcher, you really have to fish a lot of thick vegetation. Not all the time, but majority of the time, look for some structure, trees, whatever your body of water has that you think a big fish will what I would call a big fish up into that fish that area, and you probably can catch your PB. So with that being said, let's get back to fishing. Okay. This is something that was taught from me from childhood. Now, a lot of guys call it the float worm technique. To me, I call it the jerk worm technique. I jerk it, pause it, just like you would do a soft plastic jerk bait. I do this worm the same way. This is a all black zoom trick worm, and that to me, the mean of trick worm is what you want to do is just add jerks, just like you work a flute, and let it fall. Right? You can let it fall as long as you want, as far as you want to let it fall. You can pause in between those jerks as long as you want at the same time. And it's to me, it catches a lot of fish around this time, around the spawn time. It catches the fish a lot of the times when it's real hot, when they real finicky, they don't want to bite. It catches fish during when the water is real cold, when the fish really don't want to move. But it's real effective in open water, and it's whoa, hold on, get that down. And it's effective around this time of the year, especially guys that like bed fish. I don't do a lot of bed fishing, but this is the worm that they will use to uh, catch bass off beds with. You can jerk it across their bed and just let it flood or sink on down, and they gonna tie it up. Now the colors wise, I like the black ones. Now I have some pink ones, and I have that's it. I couldn't find I used a lot. I love the white ones, but I can't find them. But the black and the pink, watermelon, June bug, and green pumpkin, all my colors in this worm. Matter of fact, those are my colors and almost all my soft plastics. But a lot of people call it the float worm technique or whatever. To me, I just jerk it around like a flute. But my pauses in between my jerks be a lot longer when I'm doing it. Like when I'm fishing with this worm, per se, when I'm fishing with a fluke. I work a fluke a little faster and a little faster and a little bit more harder. This one, I don't work as fast. I don't jerk it as much. I jerk, pause, and my pauses can be long, maybe 5 seconds. Then I jerk it again, maybe a jerk, pause, let it fall, jerk, pause, let it fall until I get a bite. another thing I do is when I cast it out, I let it sink before I even start jerking it. I'm thinking I'm getting a bite too. Cause it's at times when I'm fishing in open water like this, and I cast out there not even knowing there's a fish in that area, and I cast that float that trick worm out there, and it got a little slower sink than the Senko do, and that fish is straight up teared up, man. Now you got to remember before the Senkos came out, the Zoom trick worm was actually the Senko. Listen, this coming from a guy that works a 9 to 5 job with this knowledge of fishing. So I have been doing it for a long time. And like I said, it's nothing hard. It's basic, real basic. It's stuff I learned from childhood that I stuck with. And I was getting a bite. I knew it. I knew I was getting a bite, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't know. Get out of my can. Ants. Get out of my can. They say ants are good for protein, but I don't need y'all in my drink. Another thing. Am I looking for viewers? People that's gonna actually watch my videos or actually like my videos or whatever I'm doing. Am I looking for that really? Look at my face. Do it look like it? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really just sharing my love and passion for fishing with others. And like I said, this is a new thing for me. It's a new beginning for me. It's something I want to do and continue to do. I'm going to continue doing it, and I just want to be a better guy that can create a little bit better content because I know my content is going to be, you understand me? But at the same time, I'm gonna work and get better at it. What they say, practice makes what? Perfect, right? Okay. So let's get back to fishing. I think I just spotted a small schooling bass over here to my right. I'm gonna try to get it over here. Try to get over there with this tree line to see can I get a strike. Ah, oh, off target. We ain't caught the line. This is light line. I'm taking like all fouled up. Yeah, I got it hooked right. It's just an old worm. I'm trying to and just like the fluke, who is that? Margaret. Oh, just like the fluke, um, the trick worm can be worked the same way. You can give it that same erratic movement as the fluke as it darts around. The fluke darts from side to side. You know how you do those side to side dart from side to side like a fleeing bait fish. You can work the same zoom trick worm the same way erratically and get that same movement, but it'll be a little bit different than the fluke. It's not going to be so much of a darty, dart movement or whatever. It's going to be erratic movement, but it's going to be more of a it's going to fall when you work it erratically. It's just going to dart, but it's not going to be like a fluke per se. The action is going to be a whole lot different than the fluke. But I noticed that works too, and that works when they are feeding, chasing, and it works good in the summertime. Oh, dang! I had my drag. That was a big bite. Yeah, that was a bite there. I should have let him take it. It ripped drag. It absolutely ripped drag. I don't know. I don't know, people. You heard the drag? So that means I gotta tighten the drag up and just tow my worm up even more. But you know what? We're gonna use him until we catch him. So let's try to get back over here in that corner, man. See, can we get whatever it is over there out of there, you know? It's gonna be fun with this 6 pound test. It's gonna be an absolute blast if I catch even a 2 pound fish on this 6 pound line I have, and I think it's 6 pound fluorocarbon. I don't know the brand of it. I always throw the packages away when I buy stuff. I really don't. Uh, I want to say it's, I think it's Yozuri, something like that. 6 pound test fluorocarbon, but I know a nice 2 or 3 pound fish get hooked up on the end of this line. It's gonna be fun. Oh, let me change that. Wrong about the line. Let me correct that. It is 6 pound mono trilene big game. That's what it is. But it's still, oh, excuse me, it's still going to be fun off a 2 pound or a 3 pound fish. Let's see, can we catch one? It's been a while. We got to fight people. Put this down because right there, I'm chasing the shad. I think it's a little small little shad. Chasing, not like. And once, one thing I noticed, I learned about this lake when these fish are really on shad. They really on shad. They really not gonna go after anything else but shad. So when they are feeding on shad heavily, shad pattern baits always have been the key for me to catching fish on this body of water, because I know when these fish are really feeding on shad, they really not going to focus on anything else but shad. So I think I seen two blow ups, and I know that they can be probably chasing a small school of shad around. So let's see. I'm finna throw this spinnerbait and see can we hook up with a fish. I don't know. I ain't promising you nothing. Let's give it a try. See what happens. Ooh, that was nice. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I don't know if the fish. Another thing. Another thing I wanted to say. Not all these fish gonna be focused are going to be focused on shad either. Still got those certain groups of fish that will focus on bluegills at the same time, or anything else they can really get their hands on. But majority of the time, when these fish are chasing shad and shad are like everywhere in this lake, they will be more shad eaters than anything else. So the thing about these shad, they really don't be shallow a lot. They always be in the farther, way out there. I can't even reach them from the bank. So it really pulls the bass off out of the shallow water out into more deeper water when they really running behind shad. Unless those shad actually push up closer to the bank and in casting range for me, that's when I have a good time out here. Oh, right there. I don't know why they more going at the blade than anything else. Probably a lot of times little juvenile bass will attack the blade before they even get the whole thing in their mouth. till the spring, everything turning back green. When I was fishing back here in the cooler month, there was no leaves on the trees at all. So I know that's common sense, but at the same time, it's good just to see how things change. You know, trees lose their leaves in the fall and regain them in the spring. We lose certain things in life and regain more in the change. So that's how I look at that. Well, this little free reel ain't bad. I don't know how to hold up on the fish, so I ain't caught one yet to really put it to the test. Can it really handle that muscle power from that bass? You know, can it really handle that pressure coming from that fish? That's what make a good reel. And it was free, so I don't really mind. And I think that's why it took me so long to fish it. Now I'm really back covering water. Really, that's the only thing I really use the spinnerbait for when I'm fishing like this. I usually cover a lot of water. You know, long cast, let it sink down a little bit, and just straight retrieve it back in. Whoa. Straight retrieve it back in. Nothing really special, but while I was fishing, say like some grass, line, vegetation or something, it'll probably be a little bit more. Right. Look, angle my camera. Yeah, I did. I've been doing this, filming this video without a very good camera angle. There we go. usually don't really set my spinnerbait like that. I usually set it from the side. But I don't know. Let's see what that's. I know springtime. This lake does have vegetation. When I say this water is real dirty, guys, it's real muddy. It's real, I'm talking about terrible. So a lot of the times a spinnerbait, chatterbait, even a swim jig, or a crankbait, or a lipless crankbait would be my choice because of the water clarity, right? So I usually go with something bright or something bold with some sound that is going to stand out. Or with some flash. Let's say like now when I'm fishing the spinnerbait, now I'm just casting it straight to trees, covering water. I can try to pull a fish somewhere out of bottled water or nearby, and hopefully spot the spinnerbait. That's it. You know? Spinnerbait is a great fish puller, for what I call it. It can pull a fish from quite some distance. And that's why I like using it as more of a search bait than anything, because I know it can pull a fish out of cover. It can pull a fish to it. You know, it can draw fish to it. So, I mean, I know there's other baits out there probably can do a way better job of drawing a fish or pulling the fish out of something than the spinnerbait will. But spinnerbait, in my case, has been the one that really has located me some nice fish. And when I usually get a spinnerbait bite, it's telling you it's usually a nice sized fish. It's not really a small fish. The fish I've been catching on spinnerbait has been like anybody else's PBs. Like I don't already caught my PB, so I'm not really searching for PBs anymore. That's why I'm doing this video, because now I'm more in depth and more into it than just trying to land my PB. Really trying to get more in touch and really learn a little bit more about it, fishing in general. Things I already know, like they say, iron sharpen iron. So hey, let's sharpen each other on knowledge, skill, whatever it is, maybe when it comes to fishing. Only thing I'm doing is being part of a community of fishermen that I want to be part of, and already been part of. So, not trying to be something I'm not. I am who I am. I am who I am. And let's start back fishing. I don't know. I don't know. Every time I throw in the area, I don't know if I'm hit something or actually something is really at the spinner bait, but it's not taking the spinner. It's hitting the blades. It's not really taking the bait. It's not taking the whole thing. So I don't know. Let's see. Let me throw in that area again. But I'm thinking I'm really hitting something. I don't know if it's something out there. I know something out there. And I know that water is not very deep either, so I'm probably hitting bottom for anything. Oh, my God. Oh, dang it. I didn't want to do that. Oh, sorry, people. I got y'all everywhere. I cast out and didn't know that I was that close to my phone and just knocked us down, people. All in the sand. You know, my bad. I'm sorry. Such a terrible, terrible cameraman. And oh man, oh this I gotta blow my phone out when I get done. Hey, that's part of fishing, man. It's fun. Let's get back to it. First, let me get my camera. Oh, no! Wow, wow, bummer. I broke my camera stand, man. That sucks. That really, really, really sucks. But hey, we gonna make it through the day. With a broke camera stand. Wow. That really hurts. And my GoPro is probably still recording. I'm trying to get it right, get y'all and back how I had you. The added camera stand. Like I say, I'm a bad cameraman. See, this is why I don't record while I'm fishing. Too many complications and things happen. So let's get back to fishing. I think that's what happened. I leaned back. I think I just got a bite. I don't know. Something. If they biting the spinnerbait, they really just nipping the blades. They're not striking the bait at all. I think it's just the flash that's catching whatever it is, keep striking. So we're gonna put the spinnerbait back down again. Okay. Like I said, people, I was gonna fish the entire day here. I wasn't going to move. GoPro. It's all over the place. But it's all right. Is it even filming? I don't even think my GoPro was filming, so I'm glad I was doing this video. So actually, I'm gonna just take this off. Uh, yeah, this is the oh, it's dead. Well, I don't know how long my GoPro's been dead, but I'm kind of glad that I really did this video and really got you guys out here on the water with me. And this is my first time ever doing this, and like I say, I'm trying to get better at making content and being a better content creator. So this is my first go around actually filming while I'm fishing at the same time. A lot of things has happened. I haven't caught any fish. I broke my camera stand. GoPro went dead, the norm, learning stages. But it's okay. But guess what? I'm not gonna stop doing it. And I'm gonna continue to do it, and we're gonna continue to fish until we catch a fish or until the sunlight go down on us. Okay, let's get back to it. Trying to get my drink. Just hit bottom. And I know y'all be like, why you won't move? Just pack up, leave, find another spot. I would, but like I said before I made this video, I made it. I vowed to myself that no matter what, if I don't catch a fish, I catch a fish. I'm not moving. So I haven't moved just yet. And at one before I broke my camera stand, y'all guys was getting a good view of the lake. Now y'all just gotta look at me. Hey, I ain't the prettiest thing out here, is it? You know, not the prettiest. I'm not the prettiest thing to be looking at. So, hey, I take compliments either way they come. You know, let's go. And as far as my camera stand goes, I ordered that off Temu. So I would never order that again. Nah, it's just one of those little portable camera stands you can take with you and put in your book in your tackle bag or whatnot. Come with a case. If it just broke by falling into sand, come on, man. It's not really a camera stand. It's really for my phone. So I'm using my camera off my phone. Stand falls in some sand and it breaks. Come on, Timo, you can do better than that. But hey, it ain't gonna stop me from getting the content, getting the videos out and making you guys content and keeping me motivated and keeping me and making me a better content creator, a better cameraman per se, because I'm my own camera guy, you know. And I do everything off my phone. So reach down on the side of my tackle bag here and get me a little bottle of water. Thirsty. So like I said, I've been saying the whole time. I know it was a possibility that we weren't gonna catch a fish, or I wasn't gonna hook up with a fish per se. Mainly because I know I don't fish this lake more than enough to know that it's really like a really like early in the morning type thing. And that early morning bite, no matter what species of fish you're looking for, is the key to this lake. Um, far as bass fishing goes, bass fishing can windows can open and close throughout the day, uh, and that's what makes it so much. That's what makes it so exciting that you can go maybe hours before you catch one fish, then the next your last 30 minutes right before you get ready to pack up and leave, you start catching fish like whoa, like where these fish come from. So the bite for bass, the window for bass opportunity, like when they come out to feed, is it's very optimal, very very let's say off and on. You know, it's a hot and cold thing. It's a hit or miss thing. Let's say, optimistic. I'm trying to get big word, fancy words, right? So it's a hit or miss. It's a hot and cold thing. Okay, so uh, if you out here at the right time, you probably hit it at the right time, right? So if you come when you think your time is right, you probably just missed that window of opportunity, and it just closed, right? So I have learned that, and today I already had a feeling that I probably won't even catch a fish or get a bite. But it wasn't all about me catching any fish or getting any bites. It was more of me getting a video out there, making some content and trying to get connected with the world on the fishing, get connected with the fishing world and being able to communicate and being able to be a better content creator. So I had to start somewhere. So I started today. Now I've been fishing for a long, 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 long time, and I usually don't even record or do anything when I'm fishing because I just be fishing. And if I catch a fish, I usually post it on Facebook, or even on YouTube, or something like that. But for this, I don't made videos here and there. Some people watching, some people don't. So I don't really care about the attention. It's just me really just really showing people that I really love to fish. It's just something that I'm doing to put out there, not to get noticed or be liked or try to get sponsorship. None of that type of stuff. Just really sharing my love of fishing and connecting with people that do the same thing that I do. I don't care what level of fisherman you own or what level of fisherman you are. I still connect with fellow fishermen per se. So, um, I know it's probably not. It's getting late in the evening, and I already know I probably won't catch a fish here. Uh, I probably won't even catch a fish here. I've been recording for about let's say 4 hours, so I haven't caught a fish. So I'm not giving up. I'm still going to fish. I might just cut the video short and you know post it, get it out there, see what it do. I don't really care if I get some views or not. But just stay tuned because I'm not gonna cut it just yet. So I'm gonna say that part for the end, and maybe they always say the best to the end. So the best part of the ending of this video could be I actually hook up with a fish. Let's keep fishing. And the sucky part was my camera stand broke by falling in the sand. So the next phone stand I get to bring with me, portable wise, it's not coming from Temu. I know it's things, accessories out there that is portable for phones to have, like a phone stand to do videos and something I can prop my phone up on, or I just use my tackle bag like I'm doing right now, and I have a prop already there. So um, that was the only bad thing for me today. The fish catch is gonna come or not. Like I said, I had a feeling already that I wasn't gonna catch any fish or get any bites anyway. So I already had that feeling from when I came out here. The only reason I chose this spot to fish in today because a lot of these things that I'm doing, they're not new to me. Is that I haven't fished them in a while. The spinnerbait I have fished I fished that from January all the way from January all the way through up to March. And I noticed that once April hit and once March got into play, I wasn't really getting any bites off the spinnerbait per se from like the middle of March. The spinnerbait bite for me had to went cold. Um, a lot of because I know a lot of these fish was probably up in vegetation bedding, making beds, and those fish that I was hooking up with on the spinnerbait were more of fish that was moving up to the shallows and feeding on shad, of course, before they went off to find a spawning bait, a spawning area, or whatever area they was going to spawn in. So, like I said, being a bank fisherman, you can learn a lot about fishing from the bank. It's all about your mindset, where you got your mind set on as you bank fishing. If you just want to cast out and just retrieve all day, that's good because I do it a lot, but I learned a lot from it because of certain things that I'm actually learning when I'm casting and retrieving back and forth. Like when I'm throwing the spinnerbait, I throw a spinning bait per se like now, like today, I throw it more as a search bait, and I can cover a lot of water with a spinning bait. And say if I was on uh, a larger lake than this, and it had the same access to the bank, and like I need to get to that deeper water or reach the farthest deeper water I can also use a spinning bait. In that case, there's other baits you can use. I could also use a buzz bait or anything else. But a buzz bait for me is more to drawing fish out of cover than anything. So that's something that's usually fish up shallow around some grass and stuff like that, or just a plain flat bank. Spinner baits, on the other hand, it's a great search bait. It can be fished a ton of ways. It can be fished around a whole lot of stuff, and it can catch fish. But the thing about me about the spinner bait is like when it comes to bass fishing, spinning baits draw a lot of bigger bites. They draw a lot of big fish. So you're not going to catch a lot of fish on a spinner bait, right? But at the right time and in the right place, that spinner bait can catch a big fish. That's something I have learned, and that's something I have dialed in. That came from actually fishing the spinner bait from December to no, from January all the way up to March, and sometimes fishing in the conditions, not knowing if I'm gonna get a bite or not. Fishing in situations at times where normal fishermen or pros won't even fish throw a spinner bait. Just something indifferent, and that indifference allowed me to learn a lot more about the spinner bait. As you can see, I can discuss the spinner bait more than anything I can discuss that I have in my hand or with me right now. The spinner bait and the crankbait have been two baits that I have put a lot of time in with. The lipless crankbait is another one that I put a lot of time in with, and those baits I have learned about more fishing with them through times when they was recommended and times when they weren't recommended. But at the same time, I was catching fish on either one of those baits at times when nothing I wasn't catching fish on anything else. I wasn't catching fish on anything else. So like here in Florida, it don't really get cold. It don't get cold at all too much, but we get a little cold frame. It probably lasts maybe 3 or 4 months, maybe 2, 3 months at the most. And that allowed me to fish more baits, more lures that I usually don't fish because I fish a lot of soft plastics. But at that time, when it got cold, I made a vow to myself, like, you know what, I'm gonna sit my Texas rig stuff down, sit my soft plastic stuff down, and I'm gonna really just focus on other things like jerk baits, crankbaits, spinner baits, lipless crankbaits, shallow diving crankbaits. During the cold months, I was using a deep diving or a mid diving crankbait that was a blast. Baits like that were actually catching me fish, even a chatterbait, to be surprised. But I can say that because I live in Florida. So, yes, a chatterbait I was fishing in the wintertime because it wasn't always cold all the time here, okay? So the days I caught a fish on a chatterbait was more of a probably like 70 some, 60 some degrees, maybe, I don't know, probably like, yeah, probably about 70, 80 something degrees, about 70 degrees around that time. So that water temperature probably was just right for that fishing. And at the same, like I said at the time, those fish were still chasing shad. They were still feeding on shad. So that's what I really dialed in on about uh, this lake, right? This lake, the bass, when that first shad spawn come in, those fish are gonna be on shad. The thing that's gonna hurt us as being bank anglers is where these shad gonna be located, because shad can be all over the lake. All right, they can be all everywhere. So for a bank angler, if the shad get pushed up closer to that shallow water or up closer to casting distance, that's it's gonna bring bass. The bass gonna follow the bait, right? And a lot of times these bass are push shad off in little areas like this or on the other side of the lake or even around it. It's a creek channel that goes in the back. I don't go back there because it's like a 16 15 to 16 foot bull gator back there, so I'm not going over there. But anyway, uh, those fish will go or push shad back off in there too. But a lot of the times, I have noticed that when the shad spawn, once I really learned a little bit about the shad spawn, and I think that's why I was catching a lot of fish on this south end of the lake, because it's like a little bend, like a U bend. If you on the water in a boat, you can see what I'm talking about. It's like a U bend, but standing here on the bank, me talking about it, you really can't really see it because of the angle of my phone. Anyway, you still can't really see the bend, but I know it's a bend, and a lot of the times those bass push shad up against up in this shallow water right here, so it makes it easier for them to feed on them. So that's what I keyed on, but it's not all the time that these bass will be here. It's times when they not really pushing shad in this bend all the time, and they still be here. So that is the mystery for me. So that's what I'm really trying to pinpoint. These fish move in and out of this area a lot, and there's days, if you catch it on the right day, you can catch you a couple fish here. There's days when they'll push up here and they probably won't even bite, and you probably get a bite or two. And there's times when they not even here, you know. So today, I kind of figured that these fish probably won't be in this area. But anyway, I came here anyway because I love fishing in this area, and it's just I got a lot of casting, and trees and all that stuff in my way. Um, and like I said, even though I'm blind casting, I don't know if I'm gonna catch the fish or not. But fishing off this side, I used to do a lot of moving baits. I fish a lot of moving baits when I fish over here because the more I move my bait and the more casts I get in between, uh, the more casts I get in between casting out gives me a lot of more time to cover more water and find a fish hopefully in the area by getting my bait back as faster to back to the bank as fast as I can. Now coming from a boat, you're gonna be fishing more from throwing up to the bank and fishing back down the bank. Me, I'm a bank fisherman. I'm fishing off the bank, so I'm throwing off the bank towards to the middle of the bank, middle of the water column, farther out in the water, and fishing back up the bank. That right there can be an absolute blast because you can run into a fish. You can run into a cruising bass. You can run into a bass that's chasing something, or you can just run into a bass just pulling out a cover, or just actually pulling out, coming up into the shallow water. So, hey, it's it's a learning experience, and I'm still learning. But that's why I can't really get in detail and explain it more, because I really want to learn more about it. But I learned enough about it by fishing with the spinnerbait to know that these fish somehow always come in this area for some reason, and those two reasons are, well, really three reasons are: to spawn, to feed, and really they just, there's something here. So I'm gonna take the third one back. So it's really just to spawn and to feed. So the third reason, I really don't know why they come up here a lot. For some reason, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know if it's a drop off. It says a drop off over here, but I don't even know if I'm fishing near the drop off or around the drop off. But it's something here that is always pulling fish up, because bait fish ain't always here. So it's something that's pulling them here constantly, in and out, in and out. They be back and forth, back and forth. Not all the time, but it's times when they are here, and it's times when they're not here. And at times when they are here, they be usually be bigger fish. So I don't know. So I don't, I really can't tell you why they doing it, but I just know at times they they move up here for something. So before I cut this video, I'm gonna fish a little bit more, probably run my mouth a little bit more, and then I'm gonna cut the video. And hopefully you guys are tuned in. Hopefully I did a good job enough to get some kind of, watch the video. I don't know. I ain't begging. I ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope when I post this video on YouTube, hope you guys like it. Hey, bank fishing, busting the bank with Terrence Leonard, bass fishing. I'm always on it. I'm always here. And you know what? Before this song leave me all the way, I'm gonna continue to fish, man. God bless you guys. Y'all have a good one. Peace.